I was basically I was basically pimped out by my parents.
What? What?
Oi,
Hey, thank you for calling the advice alien. Who am I speaking with?
I am Andrew.
Oh, well, nice to meet you, Andrew. How's your day so far?
Oh, we're doing lovely, man. I'm enjoying an off day. I was able to install Sparking Zero the other day, and I've just been putting in hours.
Oh, bro, I want to play
Visually,
it so bad.
oh, dude, visually, I am in love with this game. I thought
Tell
Dragon
me
Ball
about it.
Fighters was. I thought Dragon Ball Fighters looked good, but oh my goodness, the devs behind this game, whom I believe are Spike Chunsoft, were
Mm-hmm.
in their bag when they
Dude,
when they started working on this baby. Whoever the coders are, they just they just solidified themselves for a very good raise because man, not to mention all of the what if scenarios in the
oh my
story.
gosh, I know. I keep seeing those. Who's your favorite?
Oh, my who's my favorite character or like my favorite what if scenario?
Your favorite what if scenario so far?
Without a doubt, Gohan Black. Without a doubt.
Okay, you need to tell me about this, my friend. What is
Okay,
that?
okay. All right, so here it is. So when you're doing Gohan's episode mode in story, you come across an alternate. I believe it's no, this is for the Tournament of Power. So you fight Trunks. Well, the story. Well, no, the story starts out with Trunks falling from the portal from his future. Goku and Vegeta are there, but in Gohan's story, Gohan is there as well. Trunks wakes up and instead of punching Goku, he goes for Gohan. And after they get done um, figuring out what is what, Gohan's left confused because he's being told by Trunks that there's somebody in his timeline that looks like him who wears dark clothes and is destroying everything. So after all of that is said and done, he actually pops up to where they are. And man, Gohan
Bro,
Black has the cleanest pull up I've ever seen.
what does he do?
Opens the port he opens the portal and he just fades through. He looks down on Gohan and Trunks and oh man. Oh, it's so beautiful. They just jump straight into it. The way
Oh my
the way
God,
that they
I love
the
that.
way that they made these power up auras look. Oh man, look, visually, somebody like me, I would usually be at a loss for words, but every time I looked at the graphics, I just gosh,
All the hand
because
drawn,
man,
all the hand drawn stuff. It just looks like straight out of the series. It's so good.
dude,
It looked
yes,
amazing.
yes. It looks like they used the highest grade technology to put all of this together. And then they just took the best paintbrush in the world and just dipped it and just went across with the world's finest watercolors.
Oh, it's so sick. I'm really happy that the game has like had such a positive impact on you. Is it
Oh
like kind of helping
man,
you get through anything like crazy right now?
this this game along with Black Ops 6, which I just got yesterday, uh they are really they're really helping my mental. I've been in such a happy place mentally. I
Oh, that's
haven't
so good.
had Dude, I haven't had one single thought about all of the shit that I went through since I got Sparking Zero.
That's
Because,
that's amazing. What kind of shit did you go through, if you don't mind me asking?
oh, well, the biggest one in my life is I was basically, I was basically pimped out by my parents.
What? What?
Uh, yeah, so let me give you the full rundown.
Yeah, absolutely.
So back back in 2016, I was I was with my family at home. Well, no. I was living with them at the time, but everybody was at work except for me and my dad. Excuse me. I'm in the living room watching TV by myself, and here he comes out of nowhere. Hey, what do you think about this? And it's this girl's Facebook profile he's showing me. He's asking me if I'm interested, and looking at all the pictures, she was exactly my type. So yeah, of course, I said I was interested. So fast forward a month later, we start talking, but eventually we kind of fall short because at that time I didn't really have that much confidence in myself to to seriously converse with a woman about a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So skip forward another month, we start picking back up again because I've found some confidence, and we actually end up getting together. So so what? That was 2 months after I was introduced. So here comes one,
What
two.
did you
That was in June. So 4 months after we had actually gotten together,
Okay, okay.
we had we had we had started talking about getting a place together. You know, we had actually started really getting into each other. And, I was thinking at that time she was everything that I wanted in a woman. So I was like, oh yeah, I think I'm gonna marry this one.
Oh.
So so here comes my dad out of nowhere. He's like, hey, you and so aren't still talking, are y'all? For story's sake, let's call her Cassandra.
Cassandra?
Okay,
Okay.
so yeah, that, that'll be her name for the story.
All right.
So he's like, hey, you and Cassandra aren't still talking, are y'all? And I was like, yeah, we're actually together now. Why do you ask? So he starts giving me bits and pieces of information that doesn't really fit with each other. Kind of get kind of tap dancing around the question, not really giving me anything that I could go off of or put together. So I just ignore it, and we go about our business.
Oh
Now
wow.
here comes 6 months later after that, so that's a year and 2 months in total. Uh, I had found a place up north from where I was living, and I was like, hey, this I was looking at this place. What do you think? And I was showing her everything, and yeah, she liked it. So I set up the meet and stuff. I do the tour, hit the place, and I'm like, hey, I got it. So uh, leave your mom's house and come live with me. And of course
Oh
she
shit.
did not. Yeah, and of course she did not hesitate. So We got all settled in, and we basically spent 3 years together. And we had even talked about marriage and stuff. So one day I come home from work, and she decides
Oh
to
no.
sit me down, and she's like, I need to tell you something. And right off the bat, my ears perked up because whenever a man hears those words, normally it's never anything good. So I was
No.
like, okay, what's going on? So she's like, I've been wanting to tell you this for the last 3 years, but I couldn't out of fear of how you would react. That perked up my ears again. And now I was really interested, and I'm like, what do you mean by that? Well, I knew your parents before I actually knew your whole family.
Dude.
What do you mean by that?
What?
Well, I met your parents at a swingers party. And I said, come again?
Bro, what? No.
Yeah, yeah. So she's like, I met him at a swingers party, and your dad was like, he doesn't need to know what we do. Like, just keep this under wraps. This is between the three of us, type shit. So I'm like, okay, interesting. And this is why I say I'm proud of who I am now, because had the old me got that kind of information, I'd have blew up on her, called both my parents, cussed them out, and then I would have said, fuck all three of you.
I'm glad that
But
you didn't do that though. How'd you react?
uh, being an adult and trying to mature, I I now gather up all the information I can and make my decision based off that. So as she was telling me all this, my first thought was, okay, I wasn't ready for that. But the fact that it took you 3 whole years to say something like that to me is a
Mhm.
problem within itself. Although you worked up the nerve to say something to me anyway. So because of that reason alone, I have just a sliver of respect for you left. Now,
I really don't
when
think
it
they
comes,
should have kept it from you for that long. That's not fair.
oh no, of course.
Sorry, viewers, I
And,
lost my voice.
and no, I completely agree. And you want to know what's funny about that, or
Hmm,
ironic, more likely? If I hadn't got the story from her, they never would have told me anything,
dude.
because I looking at how everything went down, I know for a fact they wouldn't have told me anything if she didn't.
Mhm.
So so I'm like, okay, but we end up splitting anyway due to infidelity on her part, but that's a completely different conversation.
Wait, so
So
she cheated on you after that?
yeah,
Okay.
with with her best friend, and she ended up marrying the bitch. So she ended up marrying the bitch that she cheated on me with.
Wow, that's wild. And
Ex-
going by our conversation, I definitely don't think you deserve that, my friend. I'm sorry that that happened to you. Are you
okay.
doing okay now?
Oh, most definitely. In a much I'm in a much better space, and my mental, from where I am at the moment, is doing great process in the healing factor,
I'm happy to
because
hear that.
right now I'm living with my best friend since living with one of my best friends since freshman year, and it's a great mental escape.
Oh, that's good. Having good roommates is so important, especially when you
Dude,
vibe together.
no facts. It's the best feeling in the world.
Yeah.
So after all of that conversation was had, I ended up calling my dad, and I was like, "Hey, are y'all at the crib?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I told him I was gonna come over, probably burn one or two, and that I had something to ask him about. So I go to their apartment immediately after I get off the phone. I get there, we say our hellos, and about 15 minutes into doing what we do, I was like, "Hey, remind me again why you didn't want me talking to Cassandra." So after I finished asking that question, I noticed his face went stone for like a quick second, but then went back to his thinking face, and it was the same old song and dance from when I asked him the first time, giving me bits and pieces of information that didn't really fit together, tap dancing around the question, and not really giving me anything that I could go off of. And this time I picked up on that because I was like, this is the same thing that happened the first time I asked him.
I don't typically I don't want to judge other people for their, like choices they make and whatnot. But for something like this, I can't help but shake my head. I really think they should have talked to you about it.
Well, see, I'm not really I'm not really fucked up at the action.
Hmm.
I'm fucked up at the fact that the action was kept a secret from somebody who was the main focal point of this whole situation.
No kidding. And I can't believe the timeline of events. It's just absolutely unbelievable. I can't.
Dude.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so after I picked up on the fact that he wasn't going to tell me anything the second time, I was just like, okay, let me try this at a later time or just drop it completely. But
Yeah.
knowing myself, I operate on the three strike rule. So a week goes by after that visit. I end up coming back to their apartment and, we're just hanging out, same old family type shit. And then I asked them again, but this time brought it up out of nowhere. We're all in the middle of conversation, all being my parents, my little brother, little and older brother actually, because he was there too, and me. So uh, after my after my older brother got done saying something, I looked over to my dad and I was like, "Hey, remind me again why you didn't want me talking to Cassandra?" And it was a saying, song, and dance, not giving me anything that I could go off of. So by the third time that I picked up on it, I was just like thinking to myself, "Okay, I'm just gonna fucking drop it because he's not gonna tell me anything." So I end up going home. I'm just kicking it there and working. And then a month later, he calls me randomly and he's like, "Hey, uh, come to the house. We'll burn a couple and we can talk in the garage and iron everything out." So I'm thinking, cool. I'm actually gonna get the I'm actually gonna get all the information that I've been trying to get or that I've been looking for. So I go over to their place, but the tension is different when I walk into their room. The TV's on, but nobody's watching it. My dad's scrolling up. My mom's reading a book. So it's really the TV's just on for background noise. Nobody said a thing. So I just followed suit. I sat down, started rolling up myself, and he finished. I finished. We looked at each other, and he was just like, "All right, let's go." So we're going down to the garage, jump in the car, and he starts the sentence off with probably one of the most dumbest sentences I've ever heard him speak. This is no conversation that any father should have with his son. And in the back of my head, I'm like, yeah, no shit. So, tell me tell me what's up. You called me here. What is it you want to tell me? Wagwan. So, he starts talking and he's he's telling me things that I already know. And because I already know the full story, at this point, I'm just trying to see if he's going to lie to me or not. And he was really just short and vague with it, kind of straight to the point, which the straight to the point part I kind of respect because that's how I am. But then again, this isn't one of those types of situations where you can get straight to the point. In this type of situation, I'm looking for details. Like I'm the type of person who needs to know the whole story so I can make a decision. And he just wasn't budging. He wasn't going to do that because he was thinking that was something that I really had no business knowing. And I look at him and I'm like, let me ask you four questions. So my first question was, given your background, and speaking of which, before I continue, let me get into that background, some context on my dad. He was in he served in the U.S. military for 10 years, fought in Desert Storm, and he used to be a preacher.
Hmm.
So the type of life, the type of pillars of life that those guys are supposed to live by, either in or out of the field, applies in or is supposed to apply to all aspects of your life. So So I asked him my first question. Given the specific type of background that you have, you're supposed to live under the code of loyalty, honesty, and trust, correct? He agrees. Second, being on this earth for longer than I have, you know basic right from wrong, right? He agrees. So my third question, be, being a parent,
Mm-hmm.
you would want to make sure you keep your child out of harm's way, preparing them for anything that, uh, preparing them for whatever you're getting them ready for, or something that you're trying to completely deter them from to keep them out of harm's way, correct? He
Absolutely.
agrees. So my fourth and final question, which was, with all the answers to the three of those questions being yes, why in the fuck would this be something you don't tell your own creation, somebody that you made and birthed? And then this son of a bitch looks me dead in the eyes and says, I didn't think you deserved to know. And
God
I'm like,
damn.
excuse you? You didn't
God
what?
damn.
You said, I didn't think you deserved to know because it wasn't your business to know any of that. And I cut him off in the middle of his sentence and I was like, yes, the fuck it is.
Yeah.
Because this is somebody that one, not because this is somebody that I not only uh was somebody that was introduced to by you, for one. For two, I brought this bitch to my apartment. She lived with me for 3 whole years. I was planning on marrying this woman,
And
and
he
I
says
had
it's not
this
your
type
business.
of, and he says it's not my business. I am the main focal point of this whole situation. If this is somebody that I want to spend my life with, then I need to know everything, even if it's even if it's something that's completely disgusting. And I'll explain why I use the word disgusting in a little bit.
Oh.
So, so, what was I? Yeah. So I'm like, yes, this is something that I definitely should have known because you you introduced me to this woman. I was basically pimped out by my own parents, and I don't know what all went down between the three of them. She can't have any kids, so I don't know if he let off on her either, which is violating, disgusting, and just gross. So,
So with all that
but that
being
doesn't,
said, with all that
but that
being
doesn't
said,
explain.
oh,
What's
sorry,
up?
go ahead. Sorry. I was gonna
Well,
say I definitely want to play Dragon Ball Z Sparking Zero with you now. Okay,
but
sorry. That's all I wanted to say.
no, you're good. But that still doesn't explain why I use the word disgusting. The reason I use the word disgusting is because, and let me give you a little bit more context on some of my background. One job that I used to do was I used to work for Google. I used to work for Google, and I was in the YouTube department. And
Oh, nice.
my my specific project was CSAI, which is, I don't know if you know what that is, but
Isn't that like
it's
Child Protective Services or something?
uh let me see, let me try and remember the acronym. CSAI, Child Sexual Abuse Imagery.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I used to work on that project, and what my job was I was supposed to find predatory YouTube accounts and either strike or terminate them, and if necessary, get that said account um, escalated and reported to NECMEC. I don't
Hmm.
remember what I don't remember what that acronym stands for, but
National
uh,
Center for Missing and Exploited Children or something like that.
thank you. That's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
And they would handle that YouTube account from there and contact local law enforcement from wherever they may be in the world. And
That was a good
one
job
of
that you did.
oh dude, I fucking miss it. And I remember seeing one of the updates that we had gotten about 6 months later, that we had overall had reported and gotten over 14,000 predators locked up in their respective countries.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, dude.
Can I tell you about the show I want to do? I want to
Huh?
do this show called Alien versus Predators, where I wear the
Aliens
alien
versus
costume.
predators.
Yeah, Alien
Okay.
versus Predators, where I wear the alien costume and I go and check, like, take down predators and whatnot, wearing the alien
I
costume.
love it.
Alien versus Predators is taken by me, by the way. I claimed it.
Oh, I love it, man. That's a really I'm trying to find a fancy word to use.
Oh, you don't
But
need
no,
to use
that's a
fancy
really
words, man. Like, just be yourself.
but no, that's a really great and creative idea to have. It's also the type of idea that has an extremely good cause.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Sorry about my voice.
But
I definitely lost it today.
yeah, that was a job that I did. And now back to the reasoning as to why I use the word disgusting. My my dad is 57.
Ooh,
My mom is 4 years younger than he is. Said chick in question is a week and a half older than I am. I am 29. Do the math. That's damn near a 30-year gap. He is old enough to be her father,
that's
and
a
that
little.
is gross.
Yeah, it's a little.
I've heard I've heard of 10, 15-year gaps, and it's still touchy, but a whole 30?
That's a lot. Now,
That may have, if they were related, that may as well have been incest. Or
yeah,
like, th- that's, I know we're talking about three consenting adults here, but that age gap is
still.
completely predatory.
Hmm. I was
And my
watching.
job was to
Oh, sorry,
lock,
go.
and my job was to lock up predators. So now so now I have to look at my parents as predators. And if I'm being quite honest, I frankly think that they both deserve to be in jail.
Especially after what they did for you, for sure. That's just. I was watching
Dude.
Chris Hansen the other day, and he had someone on the table that make him sound like Dexter. He had someone at the table who had a son who is a career criminal, and he was there
Mm.
meeting, like, trying to meet a 13-year-old girl while his son, is out there causing like all this chaos and whatnot. And it's just kind of discussing like people's
Wow.
priorities and whatnot. It's wild, man. It's a wild world we live in. That's why I
That is a
started this
fact.
show. So we can I can try to help you Earthlings.
And one of the biggest things about this that pisses me off is that, look, don't go, don't go.
Oh, where are you at?
Oh,
Are you
okay,
driving?
no, no. My train of thought derailed.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. Text me
But
your
the
um
thing,
text me your info so we can play Dragon Ball Sparking Zero. And if anyone wants to play with me, I'm totally down to do game nights and whatnot. So with the people.
hell yeah, folks.
Yeah, I think that'd be really
So
fun.
so the okay, no, there it is. The thing that pisses me off about this the most is that even after I expressed how this whole situation uh made me feel, and like what it did to me and shit, like what it did to my mental, they expected me to be okay. And they acted like it wasn't a big deal, and that this is something that is just normal and happens. But when
Mm.
you look at the deep, but when you look, but when you really actually deep the whole situation and really look into it, no, this is not something that is normal and just happens.
It's just
because
it's a little creepy to be honest with you.
it
I don't like
really,
to throw a
it
lot of
really
those
is.
words out, but that is honestly a little creepy. I can't deny that.
No, it really is. And for somebody who used to spout out, and for somebody who used to spout at the mouth about uh, integrity and truth and all that, only to turn around and be the biggest hypocrite that you could be in life and expect me to be all right with it. That's not how this works.
No, not at all. Andrew, I
And
wanted to ask you really quick,
what's that?
what can I do for you to help you in this call and like make your day a little bit better? Like, what can I do for you as an alien?
Well, as an alien, the one thing you could do is just hit me with the tractor beam and send me up to your mothership.
One day, my
Let's
friend.
explore let's explore the galaxy and see what see what this vast galaxy holds.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's not very exciting. That's why I came to Earth.
It's
But
not very exciting.
yeah, but that's why I came to Earth because this is where all the party is at. Now,
So
that being
I take it
said, oh
I
sorry.
take it none of the other planets are very exciting.
Well, it's a secret. We're not there. Y'all aren't there. Y'all aren't there yet as a species. We'll get there eventually though, and then we'll have a party on Uranus.
Hell yeah, I come in peace.
Oh yeah. Well, Andrew, I really appreciate you calling in, my friend. I was wondering if there was anything else that you wanted to talk about, like anything at all.
I do have one more thing on my
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, please go ahead.
What
Like my time is yours.
what do you think so far about Dragon Ball Daima?
Okay, I haven't watched it yet. I'm a really big fan of Dragon Ball, and I haven't watched Anime yet because I want to wait for the English release. I think it's already come out in theaters or something like that, so I haven't really watched it.
Yeah,
I've been a little busy with alien stuff, so I haven't been able to watch it yet.
well, I did see something about the English dub being you were right about that because the English dub is going to be shown in theaters. I don't remember what the dates were. I would have to look at that again.
Yeah.
But so far, it's not bad.
Yeah, and to anybody wondering, it's not me being like oh I have to have the English voices or whatever, not trying to be uncultured. It's just I grew up with the English voices and just it's really weird when it's not them. I have so much respect for the lady that does Goku's voice because she's been doing it like the entire time. But
She
like I
has
said,
been Goku.
I can't do it.
Now, I completely understand that because hearing Goku power up for 5 minutes in Japanese, not gonna lie, love Masako Nozawa to death because she's been Goku since the 80s,
Yeah.
but it just sounds so annoying sometimes.
It's a little much, yeah. And then also whenever she does it for Gohan as well, it's just kind of like I'm so thankful for the English voice actors for Gohan and Goku because everybody's so perfect for that show. I think the biggest one is Chris Sabat for doing Yamcha, Piccolo, and Vegeta so distinctly.
Oh yeah. You know what? I completely forgot that he does Yamcha.
Oh yeah. No, us aliens are really big fans of Dragon Ball. All that stuff is super accurate. We'll get there one day.
Oh man. Dragon Ball even transcends the Earth's atmosphere? That's
Absolutely.
incredible.
Oh yeah, no, it was a big deal on Planet Glebor where we were watching, Dragon Ball all the time. News of Akira Toriyama's passing really got to us.
And I could imagine everybody on your home planet was pretty devastated by the news.
That was heartbreaking, but that's okay. We'll make
He
it
lives
through.
on.
Yeah, exactly. And I think his fan base is definitely going to keep his legacy alive forever.
Oh no, the fan base is definitely going to be around for eternity.
Oh, absolutely. But yeah, Andrew, I really appreciate you calling, man. I can't wait to play some Dragon Ball with you, and thank you so much for calling in.
Hell yeah, man! I appreciate you having me on your show.
Yeah, absolutely. And feel free to call in anytime. while you still can. Hopefully, like, I won't get a bunch of calls. Oh, here, viewers, here's my dog, Philip. He's licking the guitar. All right. Good night, everybody.
Well, much love from planet Earth. Love, peace, and bacon
Mwah.
grease.
Mwah. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
This is so much fun.